Alright, I gotta ask you something right off the bat. Have you ever handed over a quarter at a gas station and thought, it's just 25 cents? Well, what if I told you that one little quarter you probably used to buy a stale pack of gum could have made you a millionaire? Yeah, seriously, today, we're talking about a modern treasure hiding in plain sight, the 2016 Cumberland Gap quarter. It's got a current market value of up to $1 million. Yup. $1 million. And you might just have one sitting in that old jar of loose change, buried in the couch cushions, or rattling around in your car's cup holder next to that questionable French FRY.SO before you go tossing your change into a vending machine. Stick around. I'm gonna walk you through what makes this coin so valuable, how to spot one, and why this quarter could change your life faster than your Aunt Linda changes Facebook profile pictures. The coin was released as part of the America the Beautiful Quarter series. Cumberland Gap represents Kentucky and was the second coin released in 2016. It features a frontiersman gazing out across the mountains with a rifle, and the words, "First Doorway to the West." It's a cool design, but what really makes it valuable isn't just the artwork, it's the minting details. This particular $1 million version has the P mint mark, meaning it was minted in Philadelphia. But here's the twist, it's not just any old 2016 P quarter. The big money comes from rare errors or ultra-high grades. Let's talk about those juicy details that make collectors open their wallets wide. We're talking MS-69 and MS-70 condition. That's mint state, folks, flawless or nearly flawless coins that look like they just left the mint yesterday and went straight into a protective capsule with white gloves and maybe even a halo shining over them. These coins are graded by third-party services like PCGS and NGC, and getting that top grade is like hitting the jackpot. Some rare examples of this coin also have die errors, things like double dies, off-center strikes, and planchet issues. These quirky little flaws that most people overlook are what make collectors go absolutely bananas. Now, if you combine a high mint state grade with one of those errors, baby, you've got yourself a coin that can go for upwards of $1 million in the current market. A few years back, I was helping my buddy Dave clean out his garage. You know the deal, 30 years of broken power tools, a bucket of rusty nails, and of course, a random bag of change that had probably been there since the Reagan administration. While we were sorting through the junk, I started picking through the coins just out of habit. I'm a coin nerd, I can't help it. That's when I spotted a 2016 Cumberland Gap quarter. My heart skipped a beat. I grabbed a loop out of my car, yes, I carry one, don't judge, and looked it over. Now, unfortunately, it wasn't the $1 million version. But it did have a minor die crack and ended up being worth about $80. Not too shabby for a coin that was collecting dust in a bag next to a box labeled "Old Garage Sale Socks." That moment stuck with me. If Dave's garage had a hidden gem like that, who's to say your house doesn't have the big one? The $1 million version, look for the 2016 date and the P mint mark on the front, just to the right of Washington's ponytail. Flip it and check the reverse for any oddities, doubling, misalignments, cracks, or anything that looks out of the ordinary. If it looks near flawless, consider submitting it to a grading service like PCGS or NGC, and please, for the love of coin collecting, don't clean it. I know some folks want their coins to shine like Uncle Jerry's bald head at a picnic, but cleaning ruins the value. Just don't do it. Super rare. Like, unicorn on a skateboard rare. Most 2016 P Cumberland Gap quarters are worth face value, but those top grade or error versions? That's where the gold is. Less than a handful are known to exist at this level, and collectors are willing to throw serious money to snag one. You might be thinking, come on, what are the odds? Well, someone has to find them. Why not you? Coins like this don't just sit in museums. They're out there, floating around in the wild, passed through drive-thrus and dropped into jukeboxes. That not all change is loose change. That sometimes a quarter isn't worth 25 cents, it's worth a mansion. That your dusty junk drawer might be holding a tiny, shiny lottery ticket. This 2016 P Cumberland Gap quarter could be sitting in your pocket right now, just waiting for someone to notice its hidden value. And all it takes is a sharp eye, a little patience, and a dash of curiosity. If you love this kind of treasure hunting content, and you want more tips on coins that are secretly worth money, then hit that subscribe button. Seriously. You don't want to miss the next one. I've got stories, strategies, and some straight-up shocking coin values coming your way. Don't be the guy who found out about the $1 million coin after he spent it on a pack of gum. Subscribe, share this with your coin-curious buddy, and start digging through your change like your life depends on it. Hey there, fellow coin hunters and curious minds. Imagine this. You're at the gas station, about to grab your morning coffee, and you toss a quarter onto the counter like it's nothing. But what if I told you that little 25-cent piece could be worth more than a Lamborghini? I'm not joking. One single Washington quarter from 1979, with a little D mark under the date, is now valued at a jaw-dropping $1.1 million. Yes, you heard that right. A 25-cent coin. Worth more than your house. Now before you start flipping your couch cushions upside down or shaking that piggy bank like a maraca, hang tight. In this video, we're diving deep into the 1979 D Washington quarter. Why it's special. What to look for. And how one lucky person turned pocket change into a fortune. And yeah, I've got a little personal story in here too that might just make you laugh, or at the very least, make you check your own change drawer by the end of this video. Alright, let's break it down. So the 1979 D quarter is your standard Washington quarter, copper nickel clad, George's face on the front, eagle on the back. Minted in Denver, that little D underneath the year is your clue. But not all 1979 D quarters are gold mines. Only a few rare versions have the specific traits that make collectors lose their minds and auctioneers break out the champagne. Let's talk minting errors. That's the real reason behind the value. This particular $1 million quarter has what's called a double die obverse. Basically, during the minting process, the coin was struck twice slightly off alignment, creating doubling in the lettering and date. So if you look at it under magnification, you'd see what looks like a shadow or a ghost effect on words like liberty or in God we trust. That doubling is what turns your regular coffee fund into a serious investment portfolio. Condition. That's key. The one that sold for $1.1 million was graded MS 68. That's nearly perfect. Not a fingerprint, not a scratch, not even a scuff from someone's jeans pocket. These coins are usually preserved in rolls or bags that never made it to circulation. So if you have one in your coin jar that's been rubbing elbows with paper clips and bobby pins, chances are it's not going to hit 7 figures, but hey, don't count it out just yet. Now let me tell you about the time I almost lost what could have been my retirement plan. A few years ago, I was at a flea market, the kind with rusty tools, old records, and that one guy selling knockoff cologne that smells like regret. I found a beat-up old coin folder marked, junk coins, $5. I opened it up, saw a bunch of state quarters and random years. One of them? A 1979 D. I kid you not. And you better believe I left it there thinking it was just a regular OL quarter. Fast forward a week, I'm watching some old coin video online and the guy's talking about this exact coin. My stomach dropped. I went back to that flea market like a man on a mission. The stand was gone. The guy? Vanished into the wind like a coin-collecting ghost. Moral of the story? Never call coins junk until you've done your homework. Okay, back to business. If you're hoping to score a 1979 D quarter worth over $1 million, here's what to look for. The D mint mark under the year must be Denver minted. Look for that double die effect on the front, especially on Liberty, and the date. Consider getting it professionally graded if it looks promising, because grading is like a credit score for your coin. That's a small magnifying glass for coins, for just a few bucks online. Start by checking your change jar. Ask your friends. Ask your grandma. Visit local banks and request coin rolls. Yes, people still do that, and sometimes they strike gold, well, copper nickel gold, anyway. And don't forget about coin shows and estate sales. Old collections are treasure troves just waiting to be discovered by someone who knows what to look for, like you, after watching this video. So the next time someone hands you a quarter and you're tempted to toss it into a vending machine, hold up. That simple little coin might be the key to your financial freedom. The 1979 D Washington quarter, it's rare, it's real, and one of them just might be hiding in plain sight, and hey, if you're like me and you love the thrill of the hunt, you're in the right place. I make videos all the time breaking down coins that look ordinary but are worth extraordinary amounts of money. If you learned something new today or just enjoy a good laugh while we talk treasure, hit that subscribe button. Give it a thumbs up, drop a comment below if you found any weird or wild coins. Let's turn your change into cha-ching. Alright folks, stop what you're doing and check your pockets. That little quarter you used to buy a soda back in the day? Yeah, it might be worth more than your car, your house, and maybe even your ex's alimony payments combined. I'm talking about the 1991 P Washington quarter, a seemingly ordinary coin that could secretly be worth a jaw-dropping $1.2 million. That's right. A single coin. 25 cents. 1/4 of a dollar. Could make you a millionaire. Sounds like a fairy tale, right? But it's real, and today, we're diving deep into what makes this coin so special, how to spot one, and why collectors are throwing money at it like it's the last piece of pizza at a party. Stick around because by the end of this video, you might just be tearing apart your coin jar with a flashlight in your mouth and a magnifying glass in hand like a numismatic detective. Let's get into it. It's 1991. The Gulf War is happening, grunge music is taking over, and my biggest worry as a kid was making sure my Nintendo cartridges were blown on just right so they'd work. And that year, the Philadelphia Mint quietly pushed out a batch of Washington quarters. Nothing unusual, right? Well, almost nothing. Most of those coins were your everyday, run-of-the-mill quarters. But a few, and I mean a very few, had something special going on. We're talking about errors, rare die varieties, and top-tier uncirculated conditions that make collectors foam at the mouth like they're at an all-you-can-eat coin buffet. Now, P stands for Philadelphia, and for most people, that little letter means nothing. But when it comes to coin collecting, it's a big deal. The Philadelphia Mint produced millions of quarters that year, over 570 million to be exact, but only a teeny-tiny fraction came out with errors or stayed in pristine condition. This is where things get spicy. Some 1991 P quarters had minting errors like double dies, off-center strikes, or even planchet issues. One of the most valuable kinds is the double die obverse, where Washington's profile and inscriptions are slightly duplicated. Think of it like seeing double after a night out, only this time, it could make you a millionaire instead of hungover. If your quarter's been living in a sock drawer or under your car seat since '91, chances are it's seen better days. But if somehow, by the grace of the coin gods, you've got one that looks like it was just minted yesterday, you might be sitting on gold. Not literally gold, because it's still a copper-nickel blend, but value-wise? Oh yeah, glad you asked. One of these bad boys, in nearly perfect condition with a rare error, sold at a private auction for over $1 million. And in today's market, with coin collectors throwing cash at rare pieces like it's going out of style, the value has only climbed. Experts now peg the top-end value at a cool $1.2 million. Last summer, I was helping my uncle clean out his garage. You know the type, more spiderwebs than shelves, a mountain of old coffee cans, and enough duct tape to start a hardware store. We found this old coin jar, and for fun, I started sifting through it. I pulled out a 1991 P quarter and joked, "Hey, maybe this one's worth $1 million." Well, the joke was on me. I looked closer and noticed something odd about Washington's face. It looked a little ghosted. Almost like a double image. My heart started racing. I ran it past a buddy who's deep in the coin world, and though it turned out mine wasn't the $1 million one, it was still worth a few $100 thanks to a minor die clash. Not too shabby for a coin I almost gave to the vending machine, but ever since then, I've been obsessed. And now I want you to be obsessed too, because the more eyes out there looking, the better chance one of us stumbles across the holy grail of quarters, the 1991 P. Washington quarter. It's not just pocket change anymore. If it has rare mint errors, especially something like a double die or an off-center strike, and it's in pristine condition, you could be sitting on a gold mine disguised as lunch money. The current market value? A staggering $1.2 million. Now, here's what I want you to do. Go check your change jars. Look through your drawers, your couch cushions, even that glove compartment you haven't opened since 2003. Get yourself a magnifying glass and start hunting. And hey, even if you don't find the $1 million one, you might stumble on something worth a nice dinner or even a vacation, but whatever you do, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. I've got more tips, stories, and strategies coming your way, everything from pennies that could buy you a car to nickels that might pay off your mortgage. Trust me, this is the kind of hobby that actually pays to keep up with. So hit that subscribe button, tap the bell so you never miss a chance to strike it rich, and let me know in the comments if you've ever found something wild in your pocket change. Coin hunting isn't just a pastime anymore, it's a treasure hunt. Alright, let me ask you something real quick. Have you ever had a coin in your pocket that was worth more than your car? Maybe even your house? Sounds crazy, right? Well, hold on to your seat because today, we're diving into one of the most shocking finds in the world of coin collecting, the 1986 P. Washington $quarter coin. Yeah, that ordinary-looking quarter you probably used for a vending machine once could be worth a jaw-dropping $1.3 million today. You heard that right. $1.3 million. Now before you go flipping your couch cushions upside down or raiding your kid's piggy bank, let me walk you through the story of how a little 25-cent coin ended up on millionaire status. And yeah, I'll share a little personal tale too, because believe it or not, I once spent a rare coin on a gas station hot dog. Painful memory, but hey, it makes for a good story. Alright, so let's break it down. The 1986 Washington quarter was minted in Philadelphia. That's what the little P mint mark stands for. Now most of these coins? Totally normal. Mass-produced. Nothing wild. You've probably handled dozens of them in your life without even thinking twice. But here's where things get juicy. Some of these 1986 P quarters came out, let's just say, different. We're talking about mint errors. And not your average scratches or dings from being tossed around in a jar with nails and buttons. We're talking major misprints, double dies, off-center strikes, and even planchet errors. That's when the coin is made from the wrong metal or is missing a layer. A very specific 1986 P quarter with multiple striking errors recently sold at auction for $1.3 million. Million. With an M. Why? Because it had a perfect storm of rarity, condition, and collector interest. It was graded by a top-tier grading service, had an extreme off-center strike, a double die obverse, and was in nearly uncirculated condition. Basically, it was a unicorn with a ponytail. You're probably wondering how often something like that actually shows up. Here's the deal. Coins like that are super rare, but they're not impossible to find. The thing is, most people have no clue what to look for. That's why I started digging deeper into coin collecting years ago, and believe me, the stories I've uncovered could fill a treasure chest. Speaking of stories, let me tell you about the time I messed up big time. Back in my 20s, I had a jar full of old coins my grandpa gave me. I didn't know squat about coins at the time. To me, they were just shiny stuff I could use at the gas station. One day, I was starving, broke, and on the road. I popped into a sketchy gas station and grabbed a hot dog, bag of chips, and soda. The total? A little over $3. I reached into my jar, pulled out a few quarters, and didn't think twice. A few years later, after I got into coin collecting, I started flipping through photos of my old coin jar. I kid you not, I recognized one of the coins I used that day. A 1986 P quarter with a double die obverse and a thick rim. Yeah. Pretty sure I fed a potentially valuable coin to a vending machine in exchange for a hot dog that gave me heartburn for 3 days. Lesson learned, my friend. Always check your change before you spend it. Especially when you've got older coins from the 80s and 90s. Those decades are a goldmine for hidden treasures. And the Washington quarters? They're some of the most overlooked coins in circulation. We handle them daily, but rarely give them a second glance. Now, if you've got some 1986 quarters lying around, here's what you need to look for. Look for the P. That means it was made in Philadelphia. Is the coin thicker than normal? Is the print slightly off-center? Is the image doubled? A shiny, clean, uncirculated-looking quarter will always fetch more than one that's been chewed up by time and pocket lint. If you think you've got something special, send it to a coin grading service like PCGS or NGC. A good grade can skyrocket the value. Even if your quarter isn't worth $1.3 million, there are still 1986 P quarters selling for hundreds or even thousands depending on their condition and rarity. That's still a heck of a return on 25 cents, and for the curious minds, the quarter that sold for $1.3 million? It had multiple errors, including a double strike, major off-center stamping, and retained its luster like it just came off the mint yesterday. It was basically the Brad Pitt of quarters. Rugged, rare, and in demand. Don't overlook the change jingling in your cup holder or sitting quietly in your sock drawer. That old quarter could be your ticket to a payday you never saw coming. Coin collecting isn't just for history nerds or old guys with magnifying glasses. It's for anyone who wants to turn a few cents into a serious stack of cash. And hey, if you enjoyed this video and you want to learn more about valuable coins, coin collecting strategies, and the stuff that could be sitting in your pocket right now, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Give this video a thumbs up if you learned something new, and drop a comment telling me the oldest or weirdest coin you've ever found. Let's share the stories and maybe even find the next $1 million coin together. Thanks for hanging out with me. Now go check your change. I'll wait. Hey guys, let me hit you with a question that might just change your life. What if I told you there's a regular OL quarter out there that's worth over $1 million? Yep, you heard that right. $1.4 million, for a 25-cent coin. And it's not some ancient coin from a buried pirate chest. We're talking about the 1994 D Washington quarter. That's right, the one with the little d under the date. The one you might have used to buy a gumball back in the day. Now, before you start flipping over the couch cushions and digging through old jars, hang with me. I'm about to tell you exactly what makes this coin so special, how to know if you've got one, and why it's causing such a stir in the collector world. And hey, I'll even share a little story about how I almost spent a coin that could have paid off my mortgage. Yeah, that still stings. So grab a drink, sit back, and get ready. Because if you've got a 1994 D Washington quarter sitting in your pocket or stashed in a dusty box, you might just be sitting on a small fortune. Alright, let's start with the basics. The 1994 D Washington quarter was minted in Denver. It's your classic quarter, George Washington's profile on the front, United States of America, and that famous eagle on the back. Pretty standard, right? Most 1994 D quarters are only worth face value. You can get one in your change and it's nothing special. But, and it's a big but, a small number of these coins have some rare features or errors that send their value through the roof. And I mean through the roof like Elon Musk's rockets. The $1 million version of this coin has a combination of super sharp strike quality, perfect condition, and a rare die variety. Some have even been found with double die errors, off-center strikes, or an unusually strong mint luster that collectors drool over. And if it's graded MS 68 or higher by a top-tier grading service like PCGS or NGC, you're looking at the kind of value that could buy you a beach house. Or 10. A few years ago, I was cleaning out an old drawer in my grandma's house. She had this little ceramic piggy bank, the kind with the rubber stopper at the bottom that's impossible to get off without breaking a nail. I dumped it out just to see what was inside. Nothing crazy at first. A couple wheat pennies, some Canadian nickels, and quarters from the 90s that I didn't think much of it and used those coins to pay for gas later that day. Yep. That's what I did. I was reading up on these rare quarters and BAM. I saw a photo of the 1994 D with the exact same off-center strike I remembered from one of those coins. I nearly dropped my phone. I still don't know if I had the real deal, but let's just say I haven't slept right since. Now, let's talk about the juicy part. Why is one specific 1994 D worth $1.4 million? It's all about rarity and condition. These high-value coins are usually mint state, never circulated, and come with unique characteristics. Think full strike details, no scratches, and eye-catching luster. The one that hit the $1 million mark? It had all of that and then some. Only one or two have been confirmed to exist at that level of perfection. That's what makes it such a unicorn in the coin collecting world. When you've got thousands of collectors chasing after the same two coins, the value goes bananas. Plus, it helps that 90s coins are gaining popularity with younger collectors. The same folks who grew up with slap bracelets and Tamagotchis are now getting into coin collecting. Nostalgia pays, literally. Alright, let's say you've got a 1994 D quarter and you're now staring at it like it might grow wings. Here's how to check it. First, look at the mint mark. It should have a little D under the year. If it's AP or nothing at all, it's from Philadelphia or a no mint mark coin and likely not our $1 million baby. Then look at the surface. Any doubling in the letters or numbers? Is the strike super sharp, with all the fine hairlines on George Washington's head crystal clear? If so, you might have something special. If you think you've hit the jackpot, don't toss it back in the change jar. Get it graded by a professional coin grading service. PCGS or NGC are the go-tos. They'll give you a certified grade and verify its value. Whatever you do, don't clean it. Seriously. Scrubbing your coin is like washing a Picasso with a sponge and dish soap. If you're getting into the hobby and hoping to find a hidden gem, here are a few solid strategies. Always check your change. Sounds simple, but it works. Some of the rarest coins ever found came from someone just casually going through their daily pocket change. Hit up estate sales, yard sales, and flea markets. You'd be amazed what people let go of without knowing what they have. Invest in a good magnifying glass and a basic coin book. Knowledge is power in this game. The more you learn, the better your chances of spotting that one coin no one else sees. Coin collecting is a long game. But when you finally hit on that one special piece, man oh man, it's worth every minute. The tale of the 1994 D Washington quarter, the unassuming little coin that might just make you a millionaire. If there's one thing you take from this video, let it be this: never underestimate the power of loose change. That quarter rattling around in your car's cup holder could be your ticket to an early retirement. And hey, if you enjoyed hanging out and talking coins, do me a favor. Hit that subscribe button, give this video a thumbs up, and tap the bell so you don't miss out on any future coin tips, hidden treasures, or hilarious stories of near $1 million mistakes. Trust me, I've got plenty. Drop a comment below if you've ever found a coin you thought might be valuable, or if you've got a story like mine that still haunts your dreams. I'd love to hear it. Thanks for watching, and remember, check your change, check your jars, and for the love of George Washington, don't spend your rare coins at the gas station. Hey folks, stop what you're doing and check your change. Seriously, before you toss that quarter into the vending machine for a stale bag of pretzels, make sure it's not hiding a secret worth $1.5 million. Yep, you heard that right. Today we're diving into a 2010 P Hot Springs $2 coin that's rocking the collector world with a jaw-dropping value of $1.5 million. That's not a typo. That's real money for a real quarter. Imagine pulling that kind of treasure out of your car's cup holder. Now before we dive in, let me ask you something. Have you ever had one of those moments where you realize you accidentally threw away something valuable? I had one of those. I'll tell you about it in a bit, but let's just say it involves a shoebox, a vacuum cleaner, and a very angry phone call to my mom. Let's get into the nitty-gritty of this Hot Springs quarter and find out what makes it hotter than a jalapeno in July. Alright, so what's the big deal about the 2010 P Hot Springs quarter? Well, it's the first coin in the America the Beautiful Quarters program. That's already a historical bonus. This quarter features the Hot Springs National Park in Arkansas. Nice design, sure. A fountain, some lovely architectural details, and that big OLP mint mark telling us it was made in Philadelphia. Now, millions of these were made, so not all of them are worth your retirement fund. But, and it's a big but, a few rare specimens have serious errors, ultra-high grades, or special strike characteristics that make them incredibly valuable. And one of them? It's sitting pretty at a wild $1.5 million market value. Here's what makes a Hot Springs quarter worth that kind of cash. Number 1, condition. We're talking about coins that are practically flawless. Not a scratch, not a fingerprint, not a single McChicken sauce stain. These are graded at MS69 or even MS70 by top grading services. That's mint state perfection. There's this one known specimen, graded MS70, pristine, struck on a special planchet, with a unique die crack that turned it into a unicorn. Collectors went bananas. Bidding wars broke out. People were throwing money at it like it was a rock star in Vegas. I had one of these coins. Well, I think I did. Back in 2010, I was rolling coins from the change jar to cash in for a new pair of sneakers. I remember this shiny quarter with the fountain on it. Looked kind of cool, but hey, sneakers wait for no man. So off to the bank it went. Flash forward to now and I'm sitting here wondering if I just gave away $1 million coin for a pair of shoes that gave me blisters. Let's talk numbers. The average 2010 Hot Springs quarter in your pocket might only get you, well, 25 cents. But if it's in mint condition and shows any kind of error, you could be holding on to hundreds, maybe thousands. And if by some miracle, you have one of those ultra-rare ones? Buddy, you're set for life, and if possible, have it graded by a professional service like PCGS or Ank. Let's not forget the collector community. These folks aren't just buying coins for fun. They're investing. They're banking on value going up. It's not just a hobby anymore, it's a full-blown treasure hunt, and don't let anyone tell you coin collecting is just for retirees or people with magnifying glasses bigger than their heads. It's for everyone. I've seen kids pull out valuable quarters from Coinstar reject trays. I've watched teens sell rare coins online and make more in one day than I did my whole summer mowing lawns as a teenager. The 2010 Hot Springs quarter might just be the hottest thing in your pocket. Take a second look at your change. Dig through that junk drawer. Flip over that coin stuck in your car seat. Because you never know when you'll find the one that changes your life. That shoebox I vacuumed. It had a small stash of coins my granddad left me. I didn't know better at the time. But you better believe now I triple check before anything goes near a vacuum. Lesson learned the hard way. Before you go, hit that subscribe button. I've got tons more coin collecting tips, stories, and strategies coming your way. If you want to learn how to turn your pocket change into cold hard cash, or maybe even $1 million payday, this is the channel for you. Don't just watch money disappear. Learn how to spot it when it's right in your hands. Thanks for watching, and remember, your fortune might be hiding in plain sight. Keep digging, keep learning, and keep checking that change.